Relationship advice. My 26 male girlfriend, 24 female, told me she is pregnant, but I am sterile. I am from a Southeast Asian country and my first language is not English. Backstory: I got into an accident after my college and will never be able to have kids. None of my family members know of this. They know about the accident but not about this. I have always wanted to be child-free, so it did not affect me much mentally. I have finished my master's degree last year and never dated before. I got a very high-paying job directly through campus placements. My parents immediately wanted me to get married after getting a job, but I wanted to work on myself and explore a bit. They said no and I said that it was my wish. All my life I did what they wanted, and for the first time when I talked against them, they were not happy. This was last year and they gave up after the global situation started. So, I picked up some dating apps and went through them, but no luck. Then my parents introduced me to a family friend's daughter and we clicked kinda. Looking back, I was a fool. She said yes to anything I said and never complained about anything. I felt kinda weird about it. I wanted her to express her interests, but she always said she was interested in whatever I do. Well, I did not think much about it. I said that I won't have kids ever and she surprisingly said okay. I was like, damn, she is probably the one, as it is very hard to find a partner who is child-free in my country, or at least I thought. But we were in the initial stages and I have not told about my accident. Long story short, we had a month ago. I used protection because safety first. The next day on, she started ghosting me a bit. I thought it was due to my performance in bed and wanted to give her some space. Then she texted infrequently and only replied okays and Ks and one-line answers. I thought maybe she wanted to end the relation and was sad, but left it at that. Yesterday, all her family came to my house and she claimed she's pregnant and the father is me. Needless to say, I freaked the F out and wanted to collapse on the ground. I did not say anything while they were talking about marriage and stuff that needs to happen because I got her pregnant. Please advise me on what steps to take now, guys. Before we move on to the updates, let's read the top advice for this post first. 1. Get tested to see if you are sterile. 2. If she is pregnant, get the baby tested. 3. Make plans accordingly if you are the father or not. 4. On a final note, you may need to step away from your family for your own health. Exactly this list. Delay any wedding until your sterility is proven or the paternity is proven. I, a 29-year-old female, was told 10 years ago that I am sterile and my husband had a very low chance of having children. We now have a 5-month-old son. So, it is possible. Go to a doctor, get tested for sterility, and give the results to her and your family. If he's not sterile, he still needs a paternity test. Hell, even if he is sterile, he needs one. Just because someone sees medical evidence that proves you're not capable of fathering children won't stop people from saying that you're the daddy in some cases. He should be ready to prove that not only do his boys sink instead of swim, but that it's someone else's swimmers. It is possible that even with very low sperm count that nature found a way, but it's unlikely. It's not to say it doesn't happen ever, but it's rare that it's likely not Ops kid if he is still sterile. But a significantly low sperm count and a condom. That seems as close to impossible as it gets. Thank you for the advice. I will tell them about me being sterile and also using protection. I just feel like yes, because I have to tell my parents about this and they won't like that they won't have grandkids. Depending on how much damage you've got down there, you'll want to first absolutely confirm that you're still sterile and it's not possible. Then you'll want to cut and run. Now for the first update. Let me start off by saying I'm very grateful for all the commenters who took their time to read and give me advice. I was overwhelmed by the amount of comments and how many of you said it might not even be my kid. Looking at it from a different perspective gave me much more insight on the whole situation. I called my boss and took today off. I called up some clinics to get tested and was given a slot on Friday afternoon. Then I went to the store and bought some pregnancy tests and asked only her to come to my place tomorrow, i.e. today morning. I also called my parents and before I said anything, my mom asked me if I had any good news. I was shocked by what she said and asked me what exactly she was talking about. She then played dumb and I knew that the situation was more messed up than I thought. I cut the call and cried all night till 3 a.m., grown-ass man crying for the first time since 8th class. She came today morning with her parents even after I told her to come alone. They were under the impression that I was going to discuss engagement plans with them. I told them to wait outside and called her in and they threw a fit. I told they can all go back or let her alone come in. They said okay. I took out the pregnancy tests and gave it to her and told her to prove that she was actually pregnant and told her where the bathroom was. She started screaming at me, "Never done this before." I was shocked at this, then she went out the door and called her parents in. Now everyone is screaming at me in my own home because I asked her to prove the pregnancy, not even a DNA test. I told them all to screw off, and 1 hour later my parents and they all came to my home and they spilled the beans. She was never actually pregnant, as many commenters said. My parents were afraid that I was getting old for marriage and wanted me to marry and give them grandchildren. They said that in arranged marriages, no need for the people to actually get to know the spouse because parents choose only the best for their kids. They planned this all and were only waiting for me to have sex with her to do this. I broke down and cried again. All my life, I did exactly what my parents wanted, always scored high and never asked for anything. I told them to get out and never talk to me again in between crying, and they said parents know what's best for their kids and I should do what they say. Then I got extremely angry and told them to F themselves in my native language, which was very bad. For once, I think they knew I was serious with them and they all left. I blocked them all before sending my parents a message to never again contact me in my life even if one of you is dying. Cried for some more time, went through some dog videos and went through all my messages on this site, and I feel like I owe you guys this update because it was you guys who helped me do this. That is all, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Now for the second update. I want to thank you all for taking your time and reaching out and giving advice. The last few days, I feel like a burden was lifted off me, especially from my parents who always expect many things from me. The first day after the confrontation was a crap show. My parents forced relatives to reach out to me asking me to see reason, laughing my butt off. I declined. They stopped after 2 days after a harsh message from me requesting no contact. I also took appointments for family planning, vasectomy, which is next month. Some people asked if I would ever tell my family about this, but I will not. My body, my business. I will of course tell potential future dates that I am child-free and also had a vasectomy beforehand. Some people asked where I am from. I am from India. Now for the top comments. Damn, so your parents really tried to trap you into an arranged marriage under the guise of a real relationship? That's freaking devastating, dude. But you're doing the right thing by cutting them off if they're going to misguide you like that. I'm so sorry. But things will get better, especially after your vasectomy, and you never have to worry about a pregnancy scare again. Best of luck to you. This is so abusive, manipulative, and devastating. I'm happy for you that you did the smart thing and were able to stick up for yourself to your family, especially in a culture that makes that so hard. It's time to start living your life, no contact with toxic family. Good update, but why are you getting a vasectomy if you're already sterile? Sterile means lower probability of getting kids, not completely childproof. Hello fellow Indian. I just read this post and the original post, and let me assure you, 26 is hardly close to too old to get married and all that crap. I'm so sorry you had to go through all this manipulation and deceitful crap from pretty much everyone around you. Stay strong and you'll get through this. Now for the last story. My 34 female husband, 37 male, got an STD while cheating, slipped me half of his antibiotics for it, and fessed up to everything later. I'm divorcing him, but I'm not sure if I should let him maintain a relationship with our children, 5 female, 7 male. Sorry for the huge mouthful of a title. I'll try to keep this complicated situation as shortly as possible. In early April, my husband started making me smoothies every day after work. I felt this was incredibly odd because he has never cooked anything for me, but he called it a new hobby and so I thought little of it. After a couple of days of this, when I wasn't in the mood for one of his creations, he started to become very insistent that I drink it. This set off alarms in my head, which made my aversion to his creations worse. That night I prepared a vegan curry for dinner. Knowing something was up, I pretended I was going to the bathroom, sneaked out, and looked into the dining room from the patio outside. From there I caught my husband red-handed putting something into my bowl and mixing it. I thought he was trying to roofie me, which would have been weird as I never deny him but when confronted he finally told me that it was a crushed-up antibiotic for gonorrhea. He had gotten gonorrhea from an worker and realized he may have infected me with it, so he started slipping me half of his medicine just in case. I have tried to work through it with him with marriage counseling, but it's just impossible. He is incredibly apologetic, with frequent sobbing breakdowns and doing everything he can to salvage our relationship, but I can't even stand the sight of the man. He repulses me on such a visceral level that the mere thought of staying married to him for even a day longer turns my stomach. I told him a week ago that I was filing for divorce. The situation right now is that because of what he did, I can easily get full custody. He knows this for obvious reasons. I'm fairly sure it's a felony to give people drugs against their will. But he is begging and pleading for me to let him have a life with his children. I'm so torn on this, with pressure from his family, who don't know what he did, to stay together and our children. He is a good dad. I believe that. But I don't think I could trust him with the 2 children I'm supposed to love and protect the most. Could anyone here who has experience in this sort of thing, although I don't think anyone here has been fed STD medication against their will, shine a light on it? For what it matters, I have tested negative for all STDs and we have not slept together a single time since I caught him. Now for the top advice. Did you see a doctor? Half a course of antibiotics can end up just making the STI stronger. You need to ensure your health. I was already so mad about the cheating, without protection, and putting his wife's health on the line, and then I saw that this asshole is stupid enough to only take half his antibiotics, for F's sakes. The fact that I don't know what I'm most pissed about is proof that nursing school ruined me. Stupid enough to think that giving her half would get rid of it if she had it. He tried to be sneaky, but he was just being an idiot. If she did get it, half of those antibiotics wouldn't have done jack. Now he's still got gonorrhea and he's got a divorce coming. You are doing the right things as far as the relationship is concerned. You even tried to hold it together after such an affront. However, you should not punish the kids for his mistake. Unless he will cause harm to the kids with physical/verbal/emotional abuse. It's a matter of trust with them. He has shown that he is willing to go to some pretty horrible lengths to hide his behaviors which risk other people's health and safety. Setting the cheating aspect aside for now, giving someone drugs or medication without their knowledge and consent is incredibly dangerous, and a huge breach of trust. I understand why you'd be hesitant to trust him with your children after having something that flagrant occur. I think the best thing for you is counseling. Both individual and group. This type of issue is beyond Reddit's pay grade, and the consequences are much larger. If you feel that allowing him a relationship with your children is important, then supervision and communication with a professional is key. Having a trained therapist guide you through the process and watching for red flags is something that could help you process what has happened, while trying to maintain something, if that's what you/they think is best for the kids. Glad you're not allergic to Rosifin, or it could have really gone south really quick. Your friendly neighborhood ER nurse. I'm sorry for everything you've been through. Therapy would be advisable. I know what he did is horrible, but cutting off their relationship with the kids in the long run could hurt their kids. Is he a bad parent? Your relationship with him is different than with his children, and unless he's a danger or indifferent to them, you have to remove your feelings from that. From my own experience, my mother kept us from my father, who wanted to be part of lives because she was hurt by what happened in their relationship. I was 28 before I knew the truth. It will only breed resentment and anger towards you. And that's the end of the video. Thank you for coming this far. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like the content, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a good day everyone.